This is me teaching you mindfulness, and mindfulness is being aware of things that are going on. And once you're aware of the principles that are going on, you can more easily play with them. Hey guys, Dr. Castillo Poppy from girlschase.com. Today I want to talk about attraction and why it is fundamentally an unstable element. So many years back, I was going to say a few, but now it's many. Back in California, I was going out in Pacific Beach and I was approaching some girls. Not a lot happened. So as I was walking home, I decided to get some McDonald's. And then I went outside, I was eating my food on like a stone kind of pillar. And a pillar, I was on like a stone bench. It was 10 feet up on the pillar. There was two guys next to me and I, was being very sleuthy and acting like I wasn't listening, but I was totally listening because now I'm gonna use it in this video and teach you a lesson. And one guy was talking to another and he was talking about some girl that he had liked and they hung out and then she wasn't interested anymore. And she didn't want to see him or, wasn't texting him back and blah, blah, blah. Basically, she was interested and then she was not interested. Pretty typical, right? I wanted to turn towards him and be like, hey man, you should check out my YouTube channel. But then I thought about it and I was like, well, it's probably not gonna look so convincing because, I struck out tonight. That would be one of my questions if some guy wanted to give me advice because, it's kind of douchey. But I'm gonna be using that experience now to teach you a lesson because I couldn't teach him. So attraction, it's a fickle bitch. And it's unstable because by its very nature, it relies on causes. And anything that relies on causes is subject to change. Basic principle of the universe. Attraction is no different. So when a girl likes you, okay, I want you to understand two things. One, that it is based on a cause. And because of that, necessarily so, there's no such thing as like a save point. Think of it as a metaphor. We're using metaphors, boys. A video game. Think of a save point in a video game. You can always go back to that save point. You can make multiple saves and go really far in the game, but you want to go back here because you want to make a different decision. But that point is saved. It's good. You don't have to worry about it unless your data gets corrupted or your computer blows up. So we like to think this way, right? Because it is safe. That's why it's called a save point. I used to think of attraction this way, and I think most people do. Men and women alike. We want things to be stable. We want the good to stay good, and we want the bad to stay away. But we want the good to stay. But the reason why the good can come is the same reason why the good can go away. Because it is unstable because it relies on causes. So, attraction, relying on a cause, is either going to have three states. It's going to be amplifying, it's going to be in a stasis, but not a permanent stasis, so it's not really a save point. It's a save point that in 5 hours could just erase. Or it's deteriorating. Now, the causes of why it's stabilizing or why it's amplifying or why it's deteriorating, well, that's game. That's what I try to teach you on this channel, right? So I can't give you a 15,000 hour YouTube video where I explain every possible scenario of attraction. But understanding this principle is going to help you so much with game because a lot of people don't understand that attraction isn't just this, oh, it just happens, it's natural, if you're just into each other and you have that chemistry. Chemistry, what we call chemistry, is some sort of possibly pheromonal, biological destiny, some sort of causation is going on where you see someone and they just make you feel a certain way, but it's because they have a certain physical trait or behavior or some sort of karmic influence, some sort of causal influence is affecting you right now. Because of that causal principle, you can't just see attraction as this natural thing that just kind of happens. It happens because of a cause. So whenever attraction is going up, it's because of a way that she's feeling. And usually that's a cause of something that you did or something else that happens to her that gives her a different perspective on something that you did or said or the way that you look. If attraction is stable, what that means is that there aren't any causes that are going to amplify it or deteriorate it, but that are keeping it where it is right now. Sometimes it can mean doing nothing, and sometimes it can mean just continuing to do what you're already doing. You're on a date with her, she likes you, she's laughing, and you keep the same level of you're being just as funny, you're being giving just as much interest, but not too much, and she's reciprocating just as much, but not too much or not too little. But then if it starts to deteriorate, you're on the date. Well, you made a joke, she laughed, then it got awkward and you didn't know how to handle the awkward situation, so you just started talking and you just started spewing random bullshit out of your mouth. She can see that you're being nervous. At first she thinks it's kind of cute, but then you kind of lose track of the conversation. Then it feels like you're trying to save it. Then maybe she tries a little bit and then the vibe just kind of loses. Or you say something that she really doesn't like, she doesn't agree with, and you don't fix the emotions that are going on. Now, you might be thinking, well, why the fuck is it my responsibility to be doing all this work and controlling, da-da-da? Well, that's your responsibility as the man. You're the leader. That's what I teach here at Girls Chase, and that's what I believe in. It's what I've experienced to be true. So that being the case, you need to take the responsibility as a leader. You're gonna get the benefits of the leader, but you also have the responsibilities of the leader. So you need to be understanding that attraction is always increasing. It can be stable, but only for a time and not permanently, or it's deteriorating. So do the things that are going to be amplifying attraction, either keeping it as it is and being able to, I can just say, do perfect things and not do shitty things. Oh, thanks, Hector, fucking majestic advice, right? But if I teach you now to have the mindfulness, this is me teaching you mindfulness, and mindfulness is being aware of things that are going on. And once you're aware of the principles that are going on, you can more easily play with them, okay? So recognize when things go bad and when you mess them up, and you're gonna have to remember them, because attraction is gonna be something that is going to be a large kind of macro attraction with all of the girls in your life, because you need to understand that because attraction is so unstable with one specific girl, you need to think of her as kind of a very unique little universe where she sees a very specific version of you based on all the things that you said to her and done with her, and she's seen you do or heard about you doing or heard about you saying through gossip or friends or social circle, right? So that's her little bubble, her understanding of you. Well, it might have relation to someone else if these bubbles can interact, because she knows someone else that you know, and they kind of like exchange experiences through talking to each other or watching each other interact with you, but it's still a unique bubble. So while this may be an unstable radioactive isotope and it goes well, it is kind of blah, it's kind of shitty, it might not affect so much this bubble, and so you have another chance with this girl. So the great thing, the thing that you think is depressing, that a girl isn't always gonna feel the same way about you, whether it's on a date or in a relationship or even in a marriage that's lasted for 20 years. That same principle that seems depressing and makes you really fucking hate this game is also the thing that is going to make the game great. Because if there were save points and things were eternal, what if you fucked it up? Then you'd be stuck with an eternally fucked up thing. But you have many different girls with which you can experience these things with. Now, that might be depressing to some of you because you have that one special girl or your girlfriend that you really like and you kind of wish everything was going well with her for forever. But that's just not reality, and we have to understand reality as it is so that we can adapt to it the best way that we can. We have to be realistic. We can be optimistic, but still realistic. So, because there is causality in the world and the universe, there is no stability with just this girl. You can do your best to have good game, to make yourself an attractive guy, to learn how women think and how they work, and be the best man that you can be, and be a good lover and a good seducer, and that's what I teach you how to do on this channel. But it's never gonna be perfect with this girl, and it's never gonna be eternal. So you're gonna have chances with other girls in the future because your grand macro attraction is built up off of your knowledge of causation, of how attraction is sometimes amplifying, sometimes being static, and sometimes deteriorating, and you understand and accept the principle that there are no such things as save points in life. And, well, I would say maybe you have one life, but I think you have infinite to play with. Whatever your beliefs, it doesn't matter. There is no save point with just this girl. Even if you did have infinite lives at some point in 100,000 eons in the future, things aren't gonna work out with the girl that you love right now, okay? So, accept that there are no save points, understand that there is causation in this universe with everything else, physics, chemistry, biology, and it applies just as equally to your love life, your sex life, and your relationship life. Understand this and understand that attraction is radioactive and it is unstable and it can go this way and that way. And depending on how great the influences are your decisions, the dumb shit that you say, the great shit that you say, the majestic shit that you say, the sexy stuff. It's all affecting her little universe of how she's understanding you, and possibly many people's, if you're, for instance, putting videos on YouTube and affecting a great many people's perceptions of you. And then once you understand that you can manipulate this and you can change it and you can play with it and you can amplify it, keep it where it is, or fuck it up, then you're gonna learn the game. So you accept that the game exists and the principles that underlie it, and then you get better at it. So this video was to make you mindful. That's the point of this video. And starting from mindfulness, wisdom and insight can follow. Okay, cool. Hector Castillo, Poppy from girlschase.com. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to learn a good game, like this video. I almost said share it. Sometimes I want to say share it, and then I'm like, you probably shouldn't, because then, you know, people are gonna be like, interesting. And it's gonna fuck up the little bubble that they have of you, because you don't want people to, you want to be mindful of the game, but it's one of these funny things where you don't want to let anybody else know that you're so mindful of the game, because everybody thinks of it as this thing that should just kind of be natural, because it's so personal and touchy-feely. And if it's not, if it is this game where you can kind of change things, then it makes it feel wrong for some people. But that's what's gonna make you different, because you understand it. So don't share the video, but understand the principles that I teach in it. So like, subscribe, ring the bell, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you soon. Ciao.